Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. It's great to have you here. Welcome to Results Mastery. If you're a returning customer or prospect, then it's great to have you here. If this is your first time, then I really appreciate your time that we're going to take today. So we're going to be here for about 20 minutes, roughly. And I'm going to try my best to make sure that 20 minutes, if you never see or hear from me ever again, is really valuable for you. So my promise is to try and make sure the next 20 minutes are really worthwhile. But the truth of the matter is, I can't do that. I can only provide information to you today, and it's down to you regarding what you're going to do with that information. You know, I've had people who I've worked with who've had that information, and they've gone on to make literally millions upon millions of additional unforeseen income. I've also had people who have phoned up 3 weeks or 3 months later, and guess what? They've done nothing at all. Oh, well, I've been busy. I haven't actually done anything yet. And the truth is, these people often never will. So I hope you're in the former and you're going to take some action as a result of today. So today we're going to talk about what I call the 80-20 rule of successful marketing. Now, before that, let me just give you a little bit of my background. I won't keep you too long on this, but I've been going for over 30 years helping businesses with marketing, which I think is it's something I'm really quite proud of. It's a pretty amazing statistic, 30 years of helping. You can imagine the changes in marketing in that time. But one of the things that I've also done is spent a phenomenal amount of time learning from the best in the world. Before I got involved in marketing, I was a professional table tennis player, believe it or not. And I always believed that if I was going to be good, I had to practice with and spend time with and take on the habits of the best players around. And when I got involved in marketing, I thought the same thing is true, and it absolutely is. So I learn from the best and then teach the rest. That's really what I do. I've just made that up. That could be something I use in the future. Learn from the best and teach the rest. Maybe there's a strap line there. I don't know. But, seriously, that's what I'm going to try and do. And today is the 80-20 rule. We've all heard about the 80-20 rule. 80% of your time is wasted, and 20% of it you get 80% of your results from, and so on and so forth. 80% of your exercise is not really very good, but the 20% that you do gives you 80% of your results. And so it is with marketing. Now, marketing's a funny thing, isn't it? It really is. Any fool can do marketing, and most of them do, believe me. The truth of the matter is that it's often a very underrated skill, I believe, that people think, well, I can do my own marketing. I go, oh, really? What's your background? Oh, I'm a garage mechanic. Well, what do you know about marketing? Or you're an accountant, or you're a lawyer, or you're a coach, an advisor, whatever it is you do, you've got to have marketing skills, or you've got to buy marketing skills in. That's it. That's the end of the journey, really. If you don't do that, then you won't get the results that you want. Now, if you look over there, see that there? Great book called The Road Less Stupid. It's by a guy called Keith J. Cunningham, and I strongly recommend you go and buy that book. I'll put it there on display so that you can see the title of it. You can buy it on Amazon. I'm not selling it, but I'm sure if you did buy it, you'd really benefit from it. That said, let's get back into marketing then and talk about it. So why is it that 80% of your marketing isn't working and 20% is? I don't know that's the case. It could be 99% of your marketing's not working, or perhaps you're doing really well and it's higher than that. But my belief about marketing is this, and it's a little bit controversial, I would say, because I've had people argue with me about this, and that is this: all marketing works. Everything It doesn't matter what you do, it works. Now, you might have support the fact that when you did it, it worked. Now, why is that? Well, it's because in the right way. Let me give you an example. Let's say you run webinars, right? And you do a webinar, you market that webinar, you get a load of people sign up for it. And the idea being you add some value, and at the end of it, you pitch them on something and loads of people buy. But webinars don't always work out. You know, I've certainly experienced that myself, where I've had 50 people booked onto my webinar and only 10 of them have turned up. And out of those 10, only 2 have booked a meeting and nobody's bought. You know, I've had that. And I'm sure if you've been doing webinars, you've probably got a similar experience. So you have to ask yourself, why is that? What went wrong? You know, you got the 50 people signed up. Could you have got more? What could I have done to got more people signed up? But I did quite well, didn't I, with 50 people? However, the big failing was that only 10 of them, only 20% of them turned up. 80% didn't turn up. Why is that? Did I follow up? Did I send them messages? Did I send them reminders? Did I tell them and reinforce the message that I'm going to be delivering in the webinar and how powerful it is and how important it is for them to listen to me? You know, what were the things that I did within that process? Did I send them a video explaining, excuse me, explaining what the webinar is all about in a little bit more detail? Did I offer that if they stay to the end of the webinar, then they're going to get these four benefits, whatever I could come up with in terms of a benefit? So clearly, on that occasion, I didn't do everything I could to make sure that they turned up. Because if I did, you know, we might have had, instead of 10, we might have had 30 or 40 or maybe even all 50 people turn up. Okay, so we got the 10. We deliver this great webinar and we make an offer at the end of it of perhaps a free meeting, a little bit like I'm going to do today. I'm going to offer you a free meeting if you would like to take me up on that. And that's okay, that's good. But not everybody wants a free meeting. So whilst I only got 2 people signed up to the free meeting, what about the other 8? What would they have wanted? Perhaps if I'd have offered, you know, if you don't want a free meeting, but you would like a report that I've written on the subject, some of them might have had the report. On my website, if you go to my website, I've got what I call a self-assessment marketing audit, right? What that means basically is you can go to my website, you can click on one of the pages called, surprise, surprise, self-assessment marketing audit, and then you answer some questions and it's really clever. It produces you a report based on the answers that you've given. So this is an individual report and it gives you a rating on each of the answers. And so at the end of it, it will give you an overview of how effective your marketing is. So it could be 20%, or it could be 80%, or somewhere in between. It'll also tell you what you need to do to improve the effectiveness of each individual element of your marketing. Now, why am I telling you that? 2 reasons. One, you might go and do the self-assessment, and that might be of value to you. And 2, perhaps I could have used that to entice people, A, to turn up, and B, to stay to the end, where I was going to give them the link that they could go and do this self-assessment. Are you with me? Now, the 2 people who didn't buy, that turned up to the meeting, why is that then? Why didn't they buy? There must be a reason, must be something I'd done. Maybe I didn't help them enough. Maybe I didn't close them enough. Maybe I didn't answer all the questions. Perhaps they were the wrong people. You know, they were just looky-loos. You know, they were tire kickers, call them what you will. You know, they were never really serious about taking action on their marketing. But whatever the reason, there's always a way. Now, your job, the action that I want you to take from today, is to go and have a look at your marketing. Go and write a list of everything that you're doing. So I got a website. I mean, if you took me, I got a website, I got a podcast, I've got a blog, I do LinkedIn. Well, I can't list them. I've got about 8 different social media sites that I'm doing stuff on. I do paid advertising, and I also do email marketing. So let's say there's, I don't know, 10 different things that I'm marketing my business on right now. And I also do these live broadcasts. This is part of my marketing, obviously. So if I'm doing these 10 things and I was to rate them on a scale of 1 being awful, 5 being average, 10 being world class, where would I rate each of those? Now, when I say rate them, it might be that, I'm pretty good. I don't know, it sounds a bit big-headed, but I love doing these. So I think I'm okay at it. I'm pretty good at it. Let's just say that without wishing to sound big-headed. So that's great. But the question is, how much business have I won? That's, I could be doing, writing wonderful emails and winning no business. What I want to know is, how you rate the individual market. You might have a really beautiful website that's incredibly well written and winning no business from it. If that's the case, then something's wrong. And if you're one of these people who say, well, my website's just a brochure site, we don't expect to win any business, then, in my opinion, that's just a load of BS. Why would you spend a load of money, time and effort doing something because you don't want to win any business? You've just not done what's required to get your website working enough. And that the 2 things there, by the way, are number 1, traffic. You got to get traffic to your website. And number 2, conversion. You've got to have a website that actually converts. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. So I want you to make this list of everything that you're doing, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. As I said, 1 being awful, 10 being world class, 5 it's average. And by the way, average means it's pretty poor, because most businesses are average just by the definition of the word average, but most don't win any business, or don't win any business from several areas of their marketing. So then I want you to look firstly at the 20% that is working the best for you. So what is that 20%? Now you might say, well, it's referrals, Steve. We get a lot of business from referral, and that's good. And LinkedIn, that's another one. We do really well on LinkedIn. So if that's the case, we need to look at a plan. What do you need to do to win more business from referral and from LinkedIn? Now, it could be that they're a 10 out of 10, can't be improved, truly world class. If that's the case, great. Let's go and move on to the 80% that's not working. But let's see, we've got something that's working well, how we can improve it. What can we do to get more out of it? Now, again, I don't know your strategy. I don't know what you're doing on LinkedIn. I don't know what your plan is for referral marketing, but I'm still going to try and give you some tips on it. Okay, so let's take referral, because that one's really powerful, I believe. One of the most powerful forms of marketing is word of mouth. So let's just talk about referral. So what's your referral marketing plan? Chances are you haven't got one. If you're like 99.9% of the businesses that I speak to, you haven't got one. Your plan is to do a good job and hope that people recommend you. Hope is not a plan. Okay. Now, true, you need to do a good job. And by doing a better job than you're doing now, working out how you can improve your customer service, how can you improve the quality of the service that you provide or the products you provide, would definitely potentially get you more referrals. But I'm going to talk today about 2 things. One is ask. There's an old saying, ask and you shall receive. And another one is, if you don't ask, you don't get. And asking for a referral is definitely one of the things that you need to do. Another one would be incentivize people, bribery, if you will. I mean, we have a lovely incentive. If you recommend us to a client and they become a client, we donate £100 to cancer research in your name. How cool is that? I love the fact that we do that. We've donated over £6,500 to cancer research over recent years. And that's all, not quite all, because a couple of things have come from other places, but most of that's come from referral, and that's just really, really great that we're able to do that. I just wish it was 60,000 or 600,000 because we'd be doing even better. But, think about what you can do to win more business from referral. And the same with LinkedIn. You then take, maybe part of the 80% that's not really working. If you're like most people, you've got a website. The website isn't converting. I talk to people all the time and I'll say to them, so tell me, what are you doing to get traffic to your website? They'll go, well, nothing. Okay, so how many people visit your website then? Well, hardly anybody. Or we don't know. Most people haven't got a clue how many people visit their website. And by the way, just set up Google Analytics in order to do that. If you can't do that yourself, get somebody to do it. I've got a guy who'll do it for you. We charge you a little bit of money, but once it's done, it's done. But any competent web developer will be able to set up Google Analytics for you. So that said, that'll start to give you an understanding of things like, how many people are coming to your website? Where are they coming from? Are they coming from LinkedIn, from Google, from Facebook, and so on and so forth? So you'll have an understanding of how this is working. And here's an important number, and that is how long are they staying on your site? And another important one is what pages are they looking at? Okay. Now, without that, people could be coming to your site thinking, blimey, mate, this is a rubbish website, and disappearing off 2 seconds later, and you don't know that. But if you did know it, you could think, do you know what? I need to do something about that. We've got too many people, what's known as bouncing off the website within a few seconds. So we've got to get them hooked in so that we grab their details. And again, there's loads of things you can do. You can improve the headlines, the subheads, the words, the use of pictures, the use of video. Often improves conversion rates by up to 40%. So you get 40% more inquiries by having a video. So there's loads of things that you can do. Adding testimonials, that could help. And improving the call to action. A lot of people, you got a web page like that, and what happens? You read down, you get right to the end, and there's a little button that says, if you want to know more, click here, or something like that. Why not have that up near the top where most people read? Most people don't get to the bottom of your page even. So, have it up at the top, have it in the middle, and have it at the bottom. Want to give them as many opportunities as possible. Another thing you could do is give something free, give some advice, give a free session, have a session like this, give a free report, send them to a seminar that you're running, offer a free webinar, offer a free video program, offer a free meeting. If you go to my website, which is results, it's on the wall at the back, results-mastery.com. You will see as soon as you go to my website, there's a big gold button, and that button invites you to book a meeting. That's what I want. I want people who come to my website to book a meeting. Excuse me. So that being the case, what is your most wanted action? The MWA, as we call it in marketing. What is the MWA, most wanted action, that you want somebody to take when they come to your website? And most websites, they've either got like, join the newsletter, sign up here, do this, do that, watch the video, blah, 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 blah. And it's all very confusing. Or often they don't have one. They don't really have one. They just hope people will come to the website and magically, then go to the contact us page, not about us, the contact us page, and fill out a form in order to give you a load of money. How often does that work? So, I could go on and on. I could talk to you about emails and the same thing. How could you improve the email by changing the words, changing the target market, improving the headline. By the way, there's an old saying with headlines that the advert is that the headline is the advert for the advert. And whilst that was true years ago, it's also now true that the headline is the advert for the web page. The headline's the advert for the email. The headline's the advert for the social media post. The headline's the advert for the video, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the headline is apparently, according to people, the experts, 80% of the effectiveness of your fill in the gap, web page, email, video, whatever, is down to the headline. What's it called is very, very powerful, because that's the first thing people see. So I see a video and it's called, I don't know, how to repair your car. And I think, do you know what, that's too general. I haven't got time to all that. All I want to know is how to fix my windscreen wipers on a BMW. And that video, they'll show me how to do it because it's more specific. You with me? Okay, so I think we're just about there, actually. So one final thing, well, a couple of final things, actually. This is where I do a little bit of a pitch, but it's a pitch for, things that I think will help you. Firstly, I run something called the Results Mastermind Group. We meet weekly. We have a mastermind. It lasts an hour and a half. You get loads of additional things. You get access to something called High Level, which is a fantastic piece of software. You gain access to my AI advisor, which has got me built into it. Pretty scary, I know. And you gain access to my Results Mastery University, which is a video-based online training program for you and your team. And if you are interested in that, or you're interested in any of the products that I mentioned, like the AI advisor, for example, the AI advisor is £10 a month, and it will provide you with all the advice and information that you need, as well as having somebody who will do your marketing for you. So it'll write your emails. People often say to me, well, I haven't got time to write 30 social media posts, one to go out every day, Steve. I just don't have that sort of time. Anyway, I don't know what to write. Well, what could you do? Just ask your AI advisor. It's actually called the Results Mastery AI Advisor, and it'll do it all for you. How cool is that for a tenner? It's like employing a marketing director and a marketing assistant. Marketing director to give you the advice, marketing assistant to do whatever. You're going to employ them 24/7. They're going to be available anytime you need them, and it's going to cost you £10 a month. That is just the best deal ever. Anyway, I'll not go on anymore. Thanks ever so much for listening. If you do want to book a meeting, go to results-mastery.com, click on that gold button. That'll give you access to my diary. You can find a time that suits you and get yourself booked in. Thanks ever so much for staying. I hope it was of value, and I look forward to seeing you on my next live stream. Thanks very much for listening.